الأيام فتى وتنحت جسمك الساعات نحتا وتدعوك المنون دعاء صدق ألا يا صاح أنت أريد أنت أراك تحب عرسا ذات خدر أبت طلاقها الأكياس بتا تنام الدهر ويحك في غطيط بها حتى إذا مت انتبهتا فكم ذا أنت مخدوع وحتى متى لا ترعوي عنها وحتى أبا بكر دعوتك لو أجبتا إلى ما فيه حظك لو عقلتا إلى علم تكون به إماما مطاعا إن نهيت وإن أمرتا ويجلو ما بعينك من غشاها ويهديك السبيل إذا ضللتا وتحمل منه في ناديك تاجا ويكسوك الجمال إذا عريتا ينالك نفعه ما دمت حيا ويبقى ذكره لك إن ذهبتا هو العضب المهند ليس ينبو تصيب به مقاتل من أردتا وكنز لا تخاف عليه لصا خفيف الحمل يوجد حيث كنتا
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأزواجه أمهات المؤمنين وعلى من اتبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. My dear respected brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm your host Karim Abu Zaid, and I welcome you once again to another edition of Ask Imam Karim live show. This is our Sunday broadcast. Today, brothers and sisters in Islam, we have an extremely significant, important, essential subject. It's about our children, our investment in this world, the people whom we will leave after us. We die and we leave them behind. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it a responsibility upon every believer to make sure that they are cultivated in the right environment, and also you make sure that their future is also in good hands as much as you can. Brothers and sisters in Islam, today you may be shocked by what you will hear, and it is not coming from a Muslim, and this does not in any way belittle our guest today. This is Brenda Brenda, that's her name, Brenda Lebsack or Lebsack. Brenda Lebsack. Brenda Lebsack has been a teacher for almost 25 years, and she very well versed with the scheming and the strategizing and the plotting to some extent the public school system is doing in order to affect the decision of individuals who cannot make decisions regarding a very important something which will shape the rest of their lives, their gender. Gender orientation in the public school system, brothers and sisters in Islam, this is the theme of the show today. I will be hosting my guest, Brenda Lebsack, in a few minutes. And we will be talking about the public school system, the Hollywood, the movies, the cartoons, which our children are exposed to, whether in Cartoon Network or these movies which they release from time to time, and also advocate groups who receive funds in order to promote and advance the agenda of certain groups who are pro LBGTQ, whatever it is. Brothers and sisters in Islam, inshallah, I will be calling Brenda now, and please welcome her. The phone number is shown on the screen, 303-500-5101. If you can just allow us 15 minutes of presentation, and then after that, inshallah, we will be able to take your phone calls, as well as I understand we do have a lot of viewers who watch us overseas and in Europe and across the globe. You can always post your question on the chat on YouTube, and also on the comment section on Facebook page, inshallah. Let me welcome everybody here, inshallah. We have the Straight Path, we have ALH, AR, Daidar Zaman, Tanha Queen, Adam Rashid, Abu Zulu, Assalamu alaikum, Sister Muhammad. I'm running through quickly so we don't take a lot of time. Sister Khadija Muhammad, Aisha Sharif, Abdul Sani Hassan. We have Isa, Brother Isa, wa alaikum salam, Brother Isa, Zaid, Brother Dean, and Sister Noura from Australia, Fatima Diallo, Hussein, and Naima Ahmed from Canada. That's enough for now. Let me try to bring our guest, and then we'll take it from there, inshallah, brothers and sisters in Islam. Again, please feel free to ask her questions, inshallah, but after we have a short talk, myself and her, inshallah. Brenda, welcome to the show. This is Ask Imam Karim live show. You are live, and we would like to welcome you on the screen here with us. And we're very happy to have you, Linda.
It's good to be here, Imam Karim.
Yeah, and I did my best to introduce you. If you don't mind, Linda, if you can just give further introduction to the viewers. And then I have structured the show. I understand that we want to talk about the public school agenda regarding the gender orientation. And we want to touch on the Hollywood, the cartoon, the movies. And also we want to talk about some advocate groups, especially the youth, for youth, something for youth. I have their name, and I have all these materials available. But if you kindly introduce yourself. And Brenda,
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm going to say this over and over again, because my viewers are not familiar. This is more of a religious show. We are Muslims. 99.9 of our viewers are Muslims. So I'm emphasizing the fact that you are not, you are a believer and you are a follower of Christianity, but you're not a Muslim. And I hope this is in no way offensive to you. I'm just trying to make sure that we do have some common agendas, common causes that we can unite on apart from our differences once it comes to faith. Please go ahead, and the platform is yours now. If you can introduce yourself, your experience, and your background, and why are you doing this? Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Imam Karim. I agree with everything you said. My name is Brenda Lebsack. I am a public school teacher and have been for over 25 years in California, part of the time in Nevada. I was a board member and elected official in a school district for the past 4 years. So I've been involved in the boots on the ground, teaching in the classroom, and I've taught pretty much every grade level. I've taught general education, special education, and I've taught all the way from preschool through high school. I've taught various subjects, English, and now I'm teaching PE. But anyways, yeah, that's who I am. You know, my husband and I have been in ministry for many years as well, in Christian ministry. And, you know, I care about children and I care about parental rights. And when I was looking at some of these things coming through California, I started doing a deep dive of research because I was alarmed. I was alarmed for religious freedom. I was alarmed for how it was assaulting many different family and cultural belief systems. I mean, gender is a construct that's been in place since the beginning of time, and they're literally dismantling it and taking it straight to our kids and overriding the parents. The decision makers, such as board members, were not made aware of these changes. They just went straight to the young ones. And for me, that's a sign of complete indoctrination.
Brenda, you know, I said at the very beginning of the show that our children are our investment in this world. You know,
Yes.
even what we invest, we leave it for them. And I mean by financial investment or any other resources is really for their benefit. And
Yes.
it is the responsibility of the elders to make sure that we're leaving good things behind us for them. I just want to give you the perspective of Islam once it comes to children. Our messenger, peace be upon him, said in an authentic, transmitted account that every child is born straight, meaning on the intuition to actually recognize God and to do the right thing. And then what happens, the parents influence that natural state upon which the child was born, whether that natural state pertains to the unity of God, meaning monotheism, the belief in one God, or actually things that are weird, like taking another gender other than the gender you were born with. So there is a period from the time of birth until they reach the age of puberty, which is in Islam around 15. It can come earlier, but 15 is the final cut. Basically, Islam is saying you have to make sure that you pass on the proper education, the proper teachings to your children. Now, we're talking about the public school system telling your children that let your feeling, let your heart decide that, apart from the biology, apart from the religious guidance, apart from the parental guidance. In what ground did the public school system base this on? I'm amazed. I'm amazed. On what ground did they build this? On psychology? Did they build it on, or it just has to do with votes and how many people voted? Please enlighten us, Brenda.
So the legal definition in California for gender identity changed in July of 2017, and I did some searching and found out it came from the Fair Housing, Fair Employment, the office, which I found very strange. So I did read the document to find out that he came about with this new definition, which basically says you can be male, female, both, neither, or something in between on a spectrum, based on your authentic self, on how you perceive yourself. And when I read the document, I found with two organizations, was Equality California and Transgender Law Center. However, since then, I've been learning that there are many groups that are pushed this new definition. Planner is on their website. That they believe in unlimited range based on feelings. Also, believe it or not, the American Academy of Pediatrics does too. And also the World Health Organization and the CDC. It's now how these things are called. I do not know. I would love to science experiment that they did to come up with this. If you know the WHO, the World Health Organization, it's that 403, and anyone can Google that and find. And it says on it, we recognize identities, plural, that do not fit binary male female goals. Now, the American Academy of Pediatrics, Google. Let me see. I have to get it up right. But if you Google gender identities for
Brenda, I'm doing.
Article that talks about.
Brenda, can I interrupt you for a minute? I'm having some complaints about the sound quality. Do you mind calling the number shown on 303? Can you just skip Skype? Let's just use the phone line 303-500-5101 if you don't mind. If you can just call us back on this number, I think it will be much better connection. 303-500-5101. I think we'll do much better with the.
Okay, it's 303-500.
5101. 5101.
510.
Yes.
Oh, okay, I'll call you back.
Thank you.
Right.
Jazakallah khair. Thank you. I'm saying Jazakallah khairan. Okay, let me see if this is going to work better because I can tell that there is a lot of interruption on the screen. Okay. Okay, let me see if Brenda is going to call us now. Okay, everybody, we're just waiting for Brenda again to give us a call because it seems like the Skype is not doing great here. But hopefully we'll be out there, inshallah. So, in a nutshell, brothers and sisters in Islam, we would like to... okay, let me see here. Brenda, you're live. Can you hear me? Okay. Somehow it's not working. Okay. I'm sorry for this interruption, brothers. We're just trying to make sure that we get a better reception from Linda. MashaAllah, we have a lot of people watching this, and we want to make sure that the show is up to your expectations here. Okay, Brenda. Okay, let's see here. Okay, Brenda, are you there? Brenda, are you there?
Yes,
Okay, that's much better. Please, brothers who complained about the sound, let us know how do you like the sound now. Brenda, I do have that PowerPoint ready. Would you like to start from there, or would you like to carry on with your presentation?
Yes, I can do the PowerPoint. I just want to say, I want to make a differentiation between the American Academy of Pediatrics and the American College of Pediatrics. These are two different groups. The American Academy of Pediatrics is the larger group, and they're the ones that are going with the unlimited genders. Now, the American College of Pediatrics has said they do not agree with this. Okay, they're standing against it, but they've been called a hate group by the Southern Poverty Law Center. And these are pediatricians that are going against this. So I just want to make that distinction. There's two different groups.
Right. Got you.
Okay.
All right.
Because that can get confusing to people.
Okay, let's see now something that I really have to bring to your attention, which is an Islamic perspective mainly. When they say that let your heart, your thought decide what kind of gender you are. Once it comes to inner thoughts, Brenda, Islam has its own perspective, which I'm certain is typical to what you have, that the human being is exposed to both pure, divine, good, holy thoughts, and also satanic demons thoughts. Whatever you decide, certainly this is an agenda that Satan would love to advance in a way. What is your take on this? Like, you letting your feeling decide. Why not apply the same thing then when it comes to let your feeling decide to steal money, let your feeling decide to lie, let your feeling, I mean, is that something that is fair to say in this context?
Well, I'm going to just let you take care of the philosophical side of it, and I'll show you what's in the curriculum. How about that?
That sounds good. Okay, understood.
Why don't we open up the coloring page for the Black Lives Matter curriculum that's transgender affirming. If you can open up the English coloring page and the Arabic coloring page.
Got you. All right, let me see this now. I'm gonna try to find a way to do it. Okay, here you go. So,
and I sent it to your administrative assistant too, if she wants to help with that. Do you want me to read the definition that's on the coloring sheet?
Yes, please, go ahead.
Okay, so on the coloring sheet, they have it available in English, Arabic, and Spanish, and it says transgender affirming at the top, and then it has an African American man dressed as a woman, and it says,
okay, here it is. Here it is, Brenda, is shown on the screen right now. So
okay,
let me just do this. So simply, we're talking about three things here. Number one, the public school, the Hollywood, the advocate groups. So we're gonna, brothers and sisters in Islam, you gotta figure out what do the public school system, the Hollywood, certain advocates who get funded by your tax money have in mind for your child. Let's begin with the public school system. That's how a school would look like. Here it is. I have that picture of the Buddhism meditation mindfulness philosophy. What do you want to say about that?
Well, do you still have the transgender affirming coloring sheet up? Because I was going to finish with that one first.
Okay, I can jump in there. right here, transgender affirming.
Yes.
It's amazing.
So there's
It's
one
in
in Arabic and
English.
one in English.
It's in English and in Arabic, and they are both side by side, Brenda. So you're free now.
Okay. Okay, great. So it says everyone has the right to choose their own gender by listening to their own heart and mind. Everyone gets to choose if they are a girl or a boy, or both, or neither, or something else. And no one else gets to choose for them. So as we see, we're using the word choose 3 times, and they choose it based on their feelings. Whatever's
Okay,
in their heart,
Brenda,
whatever's in their mind.
Brenda, I get the privilege. Allow me to read the Arabic because it is in Arabic too. لكل شخص الحق في أن يختار جنسه بالإصغاء لعقله وقلبه. لكل شخص الحق في أن يختار أن يكون فتاة أو ولد أو الاثنين معا، أو لا يكون أيا منهما، أو أن يكون أي شيء آخر. ليس لأي شخص حق الاختيار بالنيابة عن شخص آخر. So this is the Arabic version. Can you please explain to me why Arabic? Why Arabic? We had a conversation before the show and you told me these materials are only available in 3 languages. Can you shed some light on this and why these languages in particular?
I honestly don't know why they didn't include any Asian languages, but if anybody wants to see this for themselves and pull it up, all they have to do is Google Black Lives Matter at school 13 principles. And you can see all the different coloring sheets, and you can read their mission statement and look at their curriculum. Black Lives Matter at school, 13 principles. This is a national curriculum. It is not just the state of California. This is national.
So this is national. This is Colorado. This is
Yes.
this is school book.
Oh, yes.
This is coloring book.
Yes.
And every child has to do it, Brenda, right?
A lot of people think it's just about race and Black Lives Matter, but they're bringing in all of the LGBTQ plus principles because they are interchanging the 2 concepts together, equating a sexual orientation and gender identities with skin color.
So you're telling me
So
that if I'm
agree
sending
with these things,
Brenda, I'm sorry, Brenda, I wanna hear this again. If I'm sending my child to the public school system, my child will have to go through that curriculum to color that material right there and read it, right?
Well, I can't guarantee that every child is going to have that in public school. I mean, a lot of it has to do with the principal, it has to do with the school board, it has to do with the teacher. But the teachers have a lot of freedom because there's a policy called academic freedom, and they're given a lot of, especially since it is being promoted by the Teachers Association nationally. They are given a green light to do this, and we're being encouraged to do it. But some teachers, won't do it, but it just depends. It's different from district to district how it's implemented.
So if my child ends up
Being promoted.
if my child ends up with a pro LBGTQ, he will do it, certainly, because that's a chance. It's like if I'm a Muslim and I'm teaching and they tell me any religion you choose, I'm going to choose Islam, right? Obvious. Mm-hmm. Okay, I do have the second picture, which is called queer affirming. What QUEER stands for, Brenda?
Oh, queer affirming.
Yes.
Queer means that you're a different sexual orientation besides being straight. So it could mean gay, it could mean bisexual, it could mean pansexual, it could mean polyamory, which means non-monogamous. There's a lot of sexual orientation.
Again, this is also part of the curriculum, national curriculum.
It's part of the national curriculum that is being endorsed by the National Educators Association, the NEA, which is the teachers' union.
Brenda, I know that.
And you can Google.
Yeah, just I'm sorry to interrupt you here. Is the election this year has anything to do, like who you vote for, and with this agenda here, can it is already in place, or it is something that they are voting for now, or virtually in place and more to come if we do not raise awareness, and that's what we're doing here? What is the election has to do of November election this year? Whatever it is the presidential, or there is any rule that a parent can play?
Yes, there is definitely. I mean, so the National Educators Association, which is the Teachers Association, the Human Rights Campaign, and also Planned Parenthood. These three agencies all are behind this. And they're behind unlimited gender, they're behind this whole unlimited sexual orientation, for that matter. And they endorse Biden. So they're the ones that want to push it in. Now, Trump is, if you listen to his speeches, he's really pushing school choice. And school choice means that as taxpayers, usually about every child is designated an amount of money from tax dollars, which is about, well, in California, about $9,000 per child per year. So rather than that money going to the school, the public school, that money would travel to whatever school the parent chooses, whether it be a mosque school, whether it be a Catholic school, a Christian academy, a military school, a charter school. It doesn't have to be a typical traditional public school.
Clear. Well, this is.
And I would just say when you're voting for local people, if you're like school board members and anything like senators or Congress people, if you look and see who endorses them, that says a lot, because when the teachers union endorses them, the CTA would be the California Teachers Association, the NEA is the National Teachers Association. So they just know that that's, or Planned Parenthood, or the Human Rights Campaign. They're very, or Equality California, these are very strong interest groups that influence how they vote and what they do, locally and state and national.
It's really. I'd like to go back to that Buddhist. Again, this is. I'm looking at that bowl here. What is that? What message? And where is that? Can you?
Yeah, you might want to, before you show the bowl, can you show the picture of mindfulness?
Okay, let me see here. Okay, here it is. Mindful. Creating a safe place for our kids to learn might begin with creating some space for them to breathe. Basically, I have that picture of, I don't know, someone that I cannot even identify the gender, and he is closing his eye as if he is or she is meditating. What this has to do with the whole agenda of the LGBTQ, Brenda, please.
That we use mindfulness, and it's already happening in a lot of the schools, which is a type of, it comes from Buddhism. I mean, it's a type of meditation, and a lot of times I find it interesting that some of the wording that's being used in these coloring sheets, such as, listen to your heart, listen to your mind, those phrases get repeated also in the mindfulness exercises that they're supposed to do. Now, they say it's to relax the mind, so that they can be less stressed out and be able to learn better. But when these things Positive Prevention Plus, which is the sex ed curriculum, One of the activities is that they actually, for seventh graders, they close their eyes and they pretend or imagine to be a different gender. And then they open their eyes and they are asked questions and led into a discussion and a writing assignment as if they are a different gender. And that is to create empathy. Now, empathy is one of the guiding principles of Black Lives Matter curriculum, is to teach kids how to have empathy. That sounds really nice and really good, empathy, but when you're talking about using the imagination to explore a different identity, that can become dangerous.
It is indeed amazing.
It is dangerous. I
Yeah.
think it's very dangerous.
And quite frankly, something that attracted me that, we always nag about the public school system not banking in one religion. Obviously, the meditation and the concept here is more of a Buddhism. Is the public school system promoting one religion now? I know that atheism is their promotion once it comes to the unity of God, but once it comes to morality, is Buddhism? Is that what they are doing? Because this is a Buddhist kind of approach, right? I mean,
Practice. Correct. I mean, and when I went to one of my conferences, they had exhibit halls, and they were actually selling, and you can put up that picture if you want, the Buddhist ringer. So it's
Yeah.
a bowl that you ring, with the sound of the bowl is supposed to initiate the meditation. And I have teacher friends that have told me they're doing this already, like they'll do the bowl in the class or maybe even at the end of recess.
Yeah.
And everybody gets in the meditation mode.
you guys see the picture of the pool right now. They,
It's a Buddha bowl.
yeah. It's a Buddha
They call
bowl.
it a
Yeah,
Buddha bowl.
yeah. It is 100%.
they
Yeah.
call that.
So it is.
And then they're also doing a lot. I'm a PE teacher, and they do a lot of yoga. Yoga is really emphasized now. Yoga doesn't have to be a problem, with balance and things like that. It's just that I had one cartoon that actually I complained about in my own district because they were using mantras and from Hinduism. And I'm like, this is inappropriate. You don't use Hindu mantras for teaching, exercise.
This is amazing, Brenda. This is, if we have to wait. Okay, I have that picture here, the classroom resources picture from page 16 of book, Who Are You? And the viewers right now looking at a picture of a teacher with many boys and girls on the side. I'm a boy, I'm a girl, I'm both, I'm neither, just me. Can you shed some light on this, Brenda, please?
Yes, this is the book called Who Are You? This book is also in the curriculum Black Lives Matter for elementary children, and it's also in our library database called teachingbooks.net. When I looked at that book, I saw that they had lesson plans for English language arts and history. History meaning when you're teaching the family unit and identity and who are you. So it's already there. The lesson plans are ready to go. And this is for kindergarten, first, second, third grade. If you see the pictures, you'll see that the children are very small.
Yeah, this is amazing because at that age, you really don't have enough, capacity to make such a decision, a life and death decision, in my opinion. Mercy.
Right. I agree.
Yeah.
agree.
Okay.
100%. When I saw this, it really shocked me. I find it very dangerous. I find it abusive because children are innately imaginative, they're innately trusting, they're impressionable, and this is going to cause, I believe, mental health issues.
100%.
It's also going to cause parents to be traumatized because here they're passing laws, at least I know in California, that remove parental rights, and we have a new term called spiritual abuse that they just passed it in May 2019, and it's defined by using religion to justify rigid gender roles. In other words, if your religion teaches that gender is only biological, that could be seen as harmful.
Did any of
They're saying that kids who can't be their authentic self are more prone to anxiety, depression, and ultimately then suicide.
is that something the professional in the field of psychology concluded, or is something that we just psychiatrists, did they say that in their research and their findings, or this is something that we assume it will happen?
Well, there's a lot of back and forth on that. I can just say that what I've noticed over and over again as I've become more involved and looked deeper into things, I see how they really, they can really manipulate statistics. Let me give you an example. The kids in California take a survey in 7th grade. It's called the Healthy Kids Survey. And they ask the question, what's your sexual orientation? They're given 6 choices. 1 is straight, 2 is gay or lesbian, 3 is bisexual, 4 is not sure, 5 is something else, and 6 is refuse to answer. So out of those 6 choices, 4 of the answers fall in the LGBTQ category. Okay, so they've really stacked the deck for their statistics. They're artificially inflating their statistics because the letter Q in LGBTQ means queer or questioning. Now, if you're giving kids all these choices of genders and all these choices of sexual orientations, and you're telling them the only way you can find out is through experimentation and self-discovery, then what child isn't going to be questioning, right? So to put unsure means you're questioning. Now you're considered LGBTQ. To say you're something else now means you're in the plus category because it's LGBTQ plus.
Just something that comes through your mind. This act, and I don't want to go into, graphic here. It's addictive to some extent. So if you're asked to experiment, you may carry on with it, like drugs, like alcohol, like people who, like gambling. You just go and experience, and then you find yourself step by step dipping in it. And, you're supposed to prevent it. You're supposed to protect it. And that's what the religion teaches.
Yes.
Brenda, before I move to Hollywood agenda,
yes.
Before you want to say something about this? It is in Islam.
Oh, I mean, so wait.
Let me say this. We have something in Islam that says blocking the way to bad things. So it's exactly, the story of Adam and Eve and the tree. When God said
Yes.
to Adam, do not eat from the tree, he did not say, do not eat from the tree. You know what he said to him? Don't come near it. In the Quran, in the Revelation. In the Revelation,
Right.
in the Quran,
Right.
don't come near the tree. Because if you come near it, you will do it. That's exactly, once it comes to adultery, fornication, any immoral sexual relationship, we can define that later on, gambling, drinking, and one of them is the subject matter. So if you're asking a child who is not, you're really, as if you're telling him, go and try alcohol, try, it is sad, very sad, Brenda, to hear this,
And I would encourage people to go to amaze.org and look at some of the videos. These are international cartoons that are being put out in multiple languages. they're indoctrinating children about the range of genders, sexual orientations, many sexual orientations. Like I said, it's not even limited to gay, lesbian, or bisexual. It's beyond that. And also, look at the one, it's called porn, fact, or fiction. They're literally just encouraging kids to use porn as a way of experimentation. Well, find out, what turns you on through porn.
And it's very
sad.
sad.
Look at the amaze.org videos to see for yourself. There's also one on condom usage, and when you look at that, it really, they have statements such as, if you're lucky enough to have sex. Are you kidding? That's actually what they say in the cartoon, if you're lucky enough to have sex.
We always get this notion, and I don't know if it's up to you. I understand that you have some limitation, and I do have some limitation as well. Can individuals be born this way? I think that's the question that we always get as religious figures. And we say to them, this is how this trending happens in a life of a person. They experimented it, they tried it during their childhood, like exactly the scenario you're presenting here, and they felt like it was good and they wanted to do it afterwards. 2, they were molested by an elder, and that created some sort of reactive kind of feelings, and that's 2. Number 3 is the liquid, we call it hormones, the feminine and the masculine hormones in the body. Some people are tested that their hormones maybe are a little bit, but this can be treated. But overall, this is how Islam sees the whole thing. Overall, whether you were molested, the person was molested, whether he had one of these experiences like the one that is being promoted now by the public school system, or he was, his body imbalance, hormone imbalance, whatever it is, we believe that this world is a test. And you're tested with this, and you're supposed to strive not to fall into the traps of sin. You're supposed to stay the way that God created you. And that is your struggle. That is where you're fighting yourself. You're trying to stay the way that God created you. I don't know if you want to, comment on this. It's up to you. I know that you have some limitations, but this is how we...
I would like to comment on this, because in the curriculum, they actually have quiz questions that says, is homosexuality a choice? And the answer is no, it's not a choice. They're saying gender is, these different genders are not choices. However, it's not, they're actually shooting themselves in the foot, because these coloring pages says it is a choice. They actually use the word choice. That, and also that picture book, Who Are You? In that book, it says the word, there are many choices for gender. So here they're saying it's inborn, and then they're saying it's a choice. So,
Yeah.
I think they messed up.
Yeah, I didn't pay attention to that. That's very smart.
The other thing is they have said there's gender fluidity and sexual fluidity. Well, if something's fluid, that means it fluctuates and changes. So you can't have both, you can't have that, they're saying no, it's inborn and it never changes. Well, if it never changes, then how can it be fluid?
Right. Yeah, I'm sure you can affect it like anything else. Yeah.
It
Makes sense, Brenda.
doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Well, you make sense, but they
And
don't.
Just like you said, I mean, as we both know, things, you can have an acquired taste. You can acquire taste to things, right?
Right.
And you can acquire a taste to certain sexualities, to certain things. And, we're psychological beings.
Yeah, and really, I'm sure, I'm sure there are people out there, Brenda, who are watching us out there, and maybe they are into this. In no way we are, we're really trying to do what is good for humanity here. We read the Old Testament, and the Quran repeated that story over and over and over and over again. You cannot imagine how many times the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, two nations, were destroyed because of this. And we have seen previous cultures, civilizations, whether the Greek or whether the Roman, what brought them down was immoral practices which are displeasing to the Almighty. In no way we're just trying to let you know that there is a way. Right here we're letting you know that this is a challenge. Yes, you maybe experience this inclination or these feelings, but God is testing you with that. You're supposed to strive not to fall into the traps of this, because like Brenda mentioned, this will have serious psychological consequences in the future. Some people, they go as far as suicide. And in fact, Brenda, I want to let you know something else too here. Once it comes to the religion of Islam, you see, Islam doesn't command me to go and ask individuals about their sexual preferences and then, punish them for it. Islam doesn't teach that. Islam actually teaches us that when the matter becomes public, then you have to speak out. When it becomes public. But if you're keeping it to yourself, if you choose that this is your lifestyle, and you don't want to hear the religious voices, you don't want to hear the consciousness of God, you don't want to hear about pleasing God, just keep it to yourself. Now, you're making it an agenda and you're forcing it on other people and other people's children. And that's where we feel it's very unfair to us, because my own child could be exposed to something like that. And I hope the people understand, Brenda, this is the ground on which me and you are talking today. You want to add anything to that?
Yes, because I speak out of my own experience, because as a child I was a tomboy, where I, didn't play with Barbies. I gravitated more to the masculine activities. I liked pirates and cops and robbers. I played, athletics, and I'm a PE teacher today. And after I graduated, I became a probation officer. So, I was drawn to those things. There was a phase in my life where I really wanted to be a boy, and my hair was short. I looked and acted so much like a boy. Honestly, if I was in an unfamiliar area, I would get kicked out of the girls' bathroom. But I grew out of that. Through puberty, I grew out of that phase. I know, though, if I received these teachings, I would have been 100% convinced that I was a girl. I was a boy trapped in a girl's body. I would have been convinced of it. And I'm sure everybody around me would have been too, and they would have affirmed me in that way, and which would have changed my life, because I would have never been a mother and a grandmother who I am today, because these puberty blockers and these hormones sterilize children.
Brenda, before we move to Hollywood, because we're running a little bit, the subject is amazing. I'm overwhelmed. I'm more shocked than maybe that the viewers can see that on my face. That even though but to hear it from someone who is right there deep into the process of education. But before we go into Hollywood, because that's another platform they use to influence the behavioral structure and the behavior of our children and their preferences. What can we do as parents? Quite frankly, my belief that don't even go there. We have an Islamic school called the Minhal Academy locally here. We have another school called Crescent View Academy here in Colorado. enroll your children there, man. Don't even risk any of that. But parents who cannot afford, because we don't have the vouchers in Colorado, for example, or other states, parents who cannot afford Islamic education, because an Islamic education independent budget has to be raised, and we rely on donation and tuition. What can they do to combat this in the public school? Can they do something regarding this subject in the public school, because they have to still send their children to the public school system?
Yes, absolutely. First of all, educate themselves and help educate others. Going to the website, it's right there on the website, very easy now to look at since the Black Lives Matter curriculum is out nationally. All you have to do is go to Black Lives Matter at School 13 Principles. A lot of the coloring sheets are right there online, so you can look at them and show them to your friends. Show them the gender identity, definitions and what they're affirming in their 13 principles. Literally dismantling the nuclear family. It says it right there in black and white. But also, you can attend school board meetings. You can ask questions. You can tell people, this is what we want. Elect school board members that reflect your views, which, again, you don't want to go with school board members that are endorsed by the teachers union, because typically they're rubber stamps of what the teacher union is passing. Another thing you can do is, you can help me by trying to get the word out. I need journalists. I've been having really difficult time getting this out. I have taken it to the...
You heard it, brothers and sisters in Islam. If there is any journalist out there, please contact me or contact Brenda. I'm gonna put your information, Brenda, on the screen at the end of the show. Hopefully, we have a journalist or someone who has an access to a journalist. Can you tell us about CBS and these people who promised they would bring that story out, and they declined at the last moment?
Yeah, I talked to 4 CBS journalists and gave them all my information from New York and LA, because Planned Parenthood is also providing medical treatments now for gender, and I was exposing this and also exposing all of their ideologies concerning unlimited genders. And they received, I sent them a ton of evidence, and they interviewed me on the phone, and then at the last minute they pulled my story, and I asked why, and they said we need to focus on COVID-19. And then a younger journalist who probably wasn't supposed to tell me this, she said she was made to erase all of my interviews, my recorded interviews, and all of my emails with the evidence. So, it's very frustrating. It's hard to get the word out. It's been really difficult.
Yeah, very sad. So,
but if they want more information, I do also want to say these websites. There's one with a lot of my videos are on there. You can go to my YouTube channel, Brenda Lebsack. Actually, the Muslim community helped fund some of my YouTube videos under Brenda Lebsack. You can go to Family Watch, which is an international website with very good information. Family Watch. Protect Our Kids Now is another great resource. And Informed Parents of California Facebook page that has...
I do have Ukhti Lulu. She said there is a Muslim sister who is a journalist for the Sacramento Bee. I don't know what is that, a journal. I will try to find her name and number, inshallah. Please, dear sister, let's get this out, guys. We gotta work together. We gotta work together. May Allah reward you. If there is anybody out there who can help Brenda, take this out. You see, this is where we can work with our, partners across the aisle there. So please.
And I want to thank the Muslim community so much. I am so grateful for you, Imam Karim. I'm so grateful for the imams here in Orange County, for Eddie and the Dean Show. I'm very, very grateful. Thank you. And I think you're going to be helping many parents, not just Muslim parents.
You see, Brenda, you're addressing our concerns. And we're really happy. You're a brave, human being, and we appreciate you so much. and you're echoing the pains of many parents, and we really appreciate it. So moving forward, Brenda, to Hollywood. There is any more thing that you want to say regarding the public school before we move to Hollywood?
We can go to Hollywood. I just want to show that, and if anybody watched the Dean show, they probably saw the PC toy. There's a lot of toys coming out. There's a lot of things that are targeting our children to program their thinking, and to, help them to accept these concepts of gender.
You said toys like kids.
Yeah, toys. Kids' toys as well, yes. But I want to go right now with this Onward cartoon, this newest Disney.
Okay, can you just talk a little bit more about? I have that shot here from, I think, a cartoon that they watched. No right, no wrong, no rules for me. I'm free. What is that?
Okay.
Yeah, can you?
Okay, now that was a while back, and that's the movie Frozen, which is a fun movie, a great movie. The song "Let It Go" actually has something very strategic in it. It says, "There's no right, no wrong, no rules for me. I'm free." And kids sing this over and over and over again. And if you notice what's going on right now is they are equating freedom with there's no boundaries in sexuality, there's no boundaries in gender. All boundaries are gone, and that's being equated with freedom.
But yet the system expects us to respect the lights, the traffic lights, and once it comes, this is crazy.
That's right. You're totally right. That's a good illustration.
Well, I mean, why not?
Pull up the
Yeah. Okay. You said there is a movie coming out, or there is a movie came out or coming out.
This movie has already come out. It's called Onward. And if you want to click the picture of the lion with the mane and the sword.
Yeah, the lion. I have it right here.
Okay. So this is one of the main characters. And think about it right now. A lion with a mane. Is that male or female?
A lion with what again?
A lion with a mane.
A mane.
A mane.
What is a mane?
If you have a mane, M-A-N-E.
Oh.
The hair around the head.
Yeah. Okay, got you. I don't know.
Yeah. Now, a lion with a mane is a male lion. Okay, a boy lion.
Right.
Only the males have manes around their head.
Got you.
So if you look at this character is a lion that has a mane that only males can have, but it's a woman.
I see. Yeah, I got it.
So really, this is a figure of transgender right here.
Yeah.
And it even has the rainbow around the lion. Okay. So here's another one. And it's interesting. I mean, the movie's called Onward. So this is, in other words, onward progressive thinking. I always run into words
the name
we are evolving humanity.
The name of the movie is inviting that this is being progressive. This is being up to date. This is being the latest, like iPhone 11. Yeah, here.
Yes. Now, if you click on the pink berry.
The berry, it has dude, something like.
Yeah, it has the green wings and the pink body.
Yeah, got it right there on the screen right now as you speak. Yes.
Okay, this is a non-binary. Character because if you notice, they used the most extreme masculine things such as Hell's Angels, black leather, and some of the fairy type tattoos. So we have the black leather motorcycle riders, right?
Right.
Mixed with eye makeup, tutus, and fairy wings.
Yeah. Very inviting.
And it's pink. So this is what you would call a non-binary character because it's male and female combined. It's both genders combined.
All right, I have one more character here. That police officer, I think, or something. With
well,
one.
Let's go to the one. Let's go to the one that is the spork. It's the little spoon from Toy Story.
Yeah, right here. The future isn't binary, right?
Yes. Now this is interesting. If anybody saw Toy Story with Woody, this little spork. Think about it. You know, Woody, I believe, falls in love with the spork. They have a special relationship. The spork is considered intersex. It's an example of an intersex. Why? Because it is both fork and spoon.
Yeah.
It's fork and spoon together. In other words, that's why that picture says the future is not binary. You don't have to be either a fork or a spoon. You don't have to be either a girl or a boy. You can be a spork.
Mercy. That's
Yeah.
all I can say.
Yes, yes.
Okay, there is one last picture here. That one eye guy. You know the other.
That's actually that was a lesbian cop in the movie.
Yeah. All right.
Lesbian cop in the movie, but
Yeah, this is really
All
sad.
right.
This is really sad, Brenda. Brenda, so basically we gotta watch what our children are watching. We gotta supervise that. We can't just let our children watch pictures like these without verifying what message is being broadcasted. This is what we can do as parents at this stage regarding television and movies.
yeah, definitely. And to talk to our kids about these things, and just really, we really have to talk about gender early, because they're, you know, if your kids are in public schools or they're watching cartoons, they're really targeting the kids at the youngest ages to start, you know, acclimating to these ideas. So we need to be very intentional in how we teach our kids about biology and how we teach them our religious faith.
Right. Okay, there is a advocate groups. There is one group in particular that you pointed out. I'm showing that picture of a wheelchair. I'm a Muslim and I might not be straight. Advocate for Youth. Do you want to shed some light regarding this organization, the Advocate for Youth organization, and Muslims how to be aware of them, because they are going around the heavily population of Muslims. You mentioned New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, and they are recruiting and promoting LGBT agenda.
Absolutely recruiting.
Yeah, whatever the.
Yes, so Advocates for Youth is, the reason I found out about this website is when I studied the health framework in California, because I'm a health teacher, so I saw this kept coming up. Advocates for Youth was recommended 6 times in our health framework for teachers and for students. So I looked, and it also has all the amaze.org videos through the website, through a free curriculum called the 3 R's, which is rights, respect, and responsibility. And when I went to this website, if you go to policies under this website and go to tools, you'll see a lot come up under Muslims. You can either just Google Advocates for Youth Muslim, and a lot comes up under that. And I was very concerned when I saw this for the first time, because it was actually talking about how the Quran and the prophets endorse different types of gender choices and different types of sexual orientations. And I know enough to know that's not true.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's ridiculous. So I was just disturbed by that, because I felt like they were literally intentionally targeting Muslim kids and with indoctrination. And so I took it to my Imam. I took it to a mosque that was nearby, and he set up an appointment with me, and I showed him some of these things. And that's when, you know, he allowed me to start telling other Muslims things for them to look for. But there's a lot in Advocacy for Youth where they are targeting and recruiting Muslim kids. And I don't know why. I really don't.
Allah.
I don't see them doing that with Catholics. I don't see them doing that with Christians. I don't know why they are specifically targeting Muslims.
Because Muslims are, we do have a belief system regarding this matter that, it's really hard to sell it to Muslims unless they are totally split from their religions. Even people who may experience what I mentioned earlier, they find it, extremely difficult to even pursue that because of the, we call it al-wazi' ad-dini, the religious prevention, that he knows that this is a path to earn God anger and wrath, and this is something that you cannot change in our scriptural revelation, in our revelation and in the scripture. Is something that is there and something that is not ambiguous, Brenda, something that is crystal clear that this is wrong. Islam says that this is wrong and there is no halfway solutions. There is no way that you can, unless if you eat up the revelation and you decide not to follow it. And that is why I think they are after the Muslim community, which is very sad, Brenda. Brenda, I still have...
I would encourage Muslim parents to really dig into Advocacy for Youth and check out what's in there. Then there's a lot in there. And
right.
They even email kids. They email kids, recruiting them for political advocacy for abortion, for LGBTQ laws. They're training them on how to be political advocates for these different policies and laws.
Are you aware, Brenda, that there are any members of the Muslim community in that group?
It says there are.
So,
yeah, it says there are. In
okay.
the website it says, yes.
Okay.
You would have to look at it yourself, but, yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
It's odd.
Yeah, thank you very much, Brenda. Brenda, I really appreciated you coming out and sharing your insight on this matter. We can only do our best within the capacity, within the laws of the land. We Muslims are law-abiding citizens, and I encourage the brothers and sisters who are watching us in the US and Europe and other places is to pursue the legal means to combat this, whether through your votes, whether through your letters that you send to your Board of Education, your school board, your principal, whatever you have to do. But I think more importantly, help Brenda raise awareness. You see, a lot of these materials which we see now in place and actually implemented because there was no awareness of this agenda, and the people who orchestrated the whole thing did it in a scheming way, in a blotting way, and here we are waking up with a big mountain that we have to deal with, brothers and sisters in Islam. But at the end of the day, God is gonna hold us accountable for trying, for doing our best to say no to that, because this is against the religion and against the faith of every Muslim. And I'm 100% positive that this is also a Mosaic tradition, a Mosaic law. The story of Sodom and Gomorrah is in the book of Genesis, the Old Testament, which Christian and Jews do follow, supposedly.
Yes.
Brenda, I want to let you have a couple of words. Unfortunately, we had you call, and now we don't have a chance to get people calling. But amazing, our conversation ate up our time anyways. We still have just 5 minutes left. Do you mind saying a couple of words at the end, advices to imams like me, to heads of communities who may be watching us, and also advices to community members? And please, before you start, if you can just give me the phone number or the email address you feel comfortable sharing with the viewers, so that they can get in touch with you. I will put it in a screen as you talk.
Oh, sure. Yes, my email address is Brenda Lebsack at AOL.com. That's Brenda Lebsack at AOL.com. And people can message me. I do work full time, so it's not like I have a staff. I'll do the best I can in answering people. But especially though, if you are someone who can help get the word out, such as a journalist, a podcast, or could help me make a website. I have a lot of information. I just don't have a website yet.
So you're looking for somebody who can help you put a website out regarding this. If we have any IT who, please, brothers and sisters in Islam, I'm sure we do have a lot of brothers who watch us who have IT background who can help Brenda bring this out on a website. Please email her, and if you wish, email me or call me, and I will do my best to connect you with her. Certainly, Brenda, go ahead.
And we do have some hope. I mean, maybe we'll get school choice. I do believe that President Trump really does want to break up the monopolization of the teachers' unions because, to be honest, I've been sending things to D.C. I've been so discouraged in the state of California because I tried with one of your imams. We tried to increase parental rights. We tried to amend some of these laws that are taking away parental rights, and they just ignore us. We had so much support with many, many faiths, the Catholics, the Christians, the Jews. We had Mormons. We had millions of people asking for more parental rights, and they wouldn't give them to us, and it's terrible. I mean, they're taking away our rights, and a parental right is a sacred right. You know, we should have that right to raise our child the way we want in our values and according to our cultural and religious values. So I am really praying for school choice. And the only way that's going to happen is to break the monopoly of the teachers' union.
Clear. So, Brenda, what else do you advise leaders of communities like myself or maybe others who may be watching us right now? What can we do? Can you, maybe you read the laws a little bit, and I read and I consulted lawyers regarding this subject. Can we make this subject, for example, a subject of discussion, debate in our community centers, which are totally religious? Is that against the law, or?
Well, if you have some lawyers that would like to take this on, I have irrefutable evidence against the California Department of Education because they actually broke their own law, and I have the evidence of that. So, I mean, we don't have much time to get into that, but I have quite a few instances where they have broken their own rules.
Right, right.
Especially when it comes to teaching HIV prevention.
But religious leaders, Brenda, like myself, can we talk about this openly on sermons and say this is against the religion and all of that without violating the laws?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Okay.
Yes, you can.
So brothers and sisters in
yes.
Islam,
I
you
mean,
heard
we
it.
have religious
You heard it.
religious freedom, and we do have parental rights, but they are eroding, and unless we do something, we're losing them pretty quickly in California. So California usually leads the way for the nation, and the slippery slope is slipping fast. So we need to regain ground, and the only way we're going to do it is to be unified for the love of our children, you know, and for the love of our God.
Brenda, we do have a big debate in the Muslim community these days, and I'm willing to extend our show, I was told, for another 5 minutes. I really would like you to give me your feedback on this. We have that notion that we are a minority group as Muslims, and you know, Muslims are facing it since September 11th. You know, we have that Islamophobia and all of that. So we ended up with these so-called self-claimed religious leaders of the Muslim community. You know, they are attractive once it comes to their eloquence and language, and they have many fans and followers on Facebook, and they go and they align with LGBTQ groups to defend their rights. Under the notion that they are a minority group, so they are a minority group, so let's work with the minority group. So this way what your take on this? Can Catholic do this?
Yes, there's a strategy they're using. It's called intersectionality, and what that word means is what they want all religions to do is they want religions to basically just hold to their cultural traditions, whether it be the bar mitzvah or Ramadan, Christmas, you know, hold to those cultural traditions, but let go of the morality part of your religion. It removes our purpose. It makes us an empty shell, not good for much. It's just window dressing, really.
Yeah, it's a strategy. So the answer is no, 100%. Yes, you got the answer, brothers, and it's not from Imam. It's not from Imam Karim. It's from Brenda Lebsack. Thank you very much. We can't be grateful to you enough for your time, for your efforts, for your hard work on this. And please, Brenda, carry on. And brothers and sisters in Islam. Sister Lulu, actually, the one who has the contact for the journalist in Sacramento, she's asking how to get in touch with you. Hopefully, you got the email address right here. Lulu, please, Ukhti Lulu, that's her name, screen name. Please get in touch with Brenda, and let's keep working in a way that pleasing God. Let's please our Lord, our Creator. And at the end of the day, everything is in His hand. And we just have to show that we don't agree with this, and we want to do something about it. And I'm 100% sure that God will direct us to making a change. وَالَّذِينَ جَاهَدُوا. We have that verse, Brenda, in the Quran that says, وَالَّذِينَ جَاهَدُوا فِينَا لَنَهْدِيَنَّهُمْ سُبُلَنَا. Those who strive in my cause to do what is right, I will guide them. I will show them the way. And here we are together with Brenda, and hopefully we will be showing the way pertaining to changing this. Thank you,
Thank
Brenda. And I hope to host you once again. Thank you.
If it can't get a hold of me, they can get a hold of you, and you can get a hold of me.
Absolutely. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye. Brothers and sisters in Islam, this was quite, wallahi ya ikhwa, quite, you know, it's sad. You know, but I always, wallahi, I always say this, and it breaks my heart to say this, that a lot of, America is a beautiful, beautiful place to live in, but the children are the qurbani. We're all paying. We're all paying to simply, the phone now is open, by the way. I was told that we can go for another 15 minutes if you have a question, inshallah. We could not take phone calls because Brenda was keeping the line busy and I didn't know how to. So call please, 303-500-5101 if you want to post something. But what I was trying to say is a lot of us are offering our children as a qurbani to live here. You see, there are two areas here where we compromising our children. The area of Tawheed, because your children are learning atheism in the public school system. The other area is the area of morality. With that gender orientation in public school system, we're also compromising their morality now. I do have a caller. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. I won't take too much of your time. When you mentioned the attack on the children,
can you please, brother, your name and where are you calling from, and if you can speak up a little bit, please.
It is your brother, Imam. This is Tijan.
Okay, Tijan. Okay, brother Tijan, yes. Raise your voice a little bit, Tijan, please.
Okay, I just want to share a story really, really quick. I was a victim of the public school system. My son was really getting very, very affected. So when I decided to make a change, these people fought me, and I know they know that I'm a Muslim. Finally, I was able to get my son out of here and send him to my home country where, alhamdulillah, he's reading the Quran and he's doing very good. But for a very long time, they fought me. They wanted me to prove that he's alive. It was almost very demeaning. So I sympathize with what you are saying, and I know for a fact that there is an attack on the children, especially Muslim children. When I stood up toe-to-toe with them, they were very unhappy. They basically attacked me. They sent a social worker to my house, officials to my house. They had me call my son in Africa to make sure he's alive, he's doing well, all in the guise because they know.
Assalamu alaikum. Can you hold on, please? I'm sorry. Tijan, are you there? Tijan.
Hello?
Yeah,
hello?
Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm telling you about the story of my son. He was getting very affected by the public school system. So I took him out of the public school, and I actually ended up sending him home to live with my parents, where alhamdulillah right now he's reading the Quran, he's doing very well.
Jazakallah khair.
He was doing very bad, but the public school system attacked me and they fought me. They sent officials to my house, and they know that I'm a Muslim. So what you're saying, I sympathize with it 100%.
Jazakallah khair, brother Tijan. Barakallah feek. Good feedback here from brother Tijan regarding his son. Barakallah feek. Let me see who else is there. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam, brother. Yeah, we are here for my daughter's nikah.
Okay. Okay, you're live, by the way, in the broadcast. I'll be there. There is a marriage that I have to go and conduct at CMCC, and the sister is calling me. I'll be out there. Just give me 5 minutes. I'll be done. I'm actually on a live show right now, and many people are watching you, complaining about me being late. So I'll be out there. Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
You're fine. Take your time.
Assalamu alaikum. So, Allah, suppose I totally forgot that I have a marriage at 4 o'clock. My time here. So guys, I can't delay the husband and wife. So we'll finish here, inshallah. I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, inshallah, brothers and sisters in Islam. Carry on with education, carry on with learning about Tawheed and learning about morality and teaching our children the good things, brothers and sisters in Islam. Brothers and sisters in Islam, Brenda told you what you need to do. Okay, Dr. Hassan, I can't turn you down. Dr. Hassan, how are you doing? Somebody just called me Dr. Hassan Salah from the masjid saying that you're supposed to be at CMCC to do nikah for my daughter, and she did this online. So go ahead. But you're live. This is a dear brother, Dr. Hassan Salah, who's a head of a big community also in New Jersey. Dr. Hassan, did you watch this show with Brenda?
Yeah, most of it actually, most of it after after prayer, and I can't agree more with you and her. Just the little piece I'm just gonna have to confirm here as a pediatrician in profession. The kids developmentally knows whether they are boys or girls at the age of 3 years old.
So, I'm sorry, Dr. Hassan, you are a pediatrician,
yes.
You're a doctor, a medical doctor, pediatrician, who deals mainly with children. Can you say this again? Boys and girls recognize their gender at the age of what again? 3. Okay.
And if they don't, they have a developmental delay or a problem.
Okay.
So that's a fact.
What about that notion, Dr. Salah, being born this way? Is that I explained this in the show, and I said there is no such a thing. Allah will never do this. Allah will never do. Then we're doubting, we're questioning the wisdom of Allah that He will give you birth this way when He commanded you not to be this way. And I mentioned 3 scenarios. It could be more, that the person had a good experience with this in while he's unaware that this could be an addictive, or he was molested or raped, or there is imbalance, hormone imbalance. Is that fair assessment, or there is anything you want to add there?
Yeah, there is something called hermaphrodite, which the kids who are born with ambiguous or not clear genitalia, and the vast majority of those will be raised and after surgical correction as girls, as females, because basically the masculine part is not there. There is no testicle to secrete the hormone, or it's just very not functioning. And they know from even their very early age that they are girls. And just confusing the kids with that gender identity problem, I see it over and over in my practice, and they end up having something called gender dysphoria or gender anxiety disorder, and a lot of them end up having like a severe mental problem, and quite significant number of them commit suicide or have some suicidal ideation.
Yeah, this is really sad, wallah, doctor, that I was just saying a minute ago that subhanallah, that America is fun, man. I can't live anywhere else right now. Is being basically brainstormed with the lifestyle. But the one thing that we are offering as a qurbani to live here, Dr. Hassan, is our children. We're compromising their tawheed, the unity of God, because they are learning atheism in the public school system. And now we're talking about immorality, immoral practices which are displeasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they are going public with it. So may Allah protect us. Can you give us an advice, Dr. Hassan, if you have a child being a pediatrician who may be entertaining such a thought, such a tendency, what should you do as a parent? I'm talking about an early age, not someone who matured and decided to take on this trending. I know this is something that is gone, but I'm talking about 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, someone who is talking in such a manner. And is the way that we treat our children affect that too? Like, oh baby, sweetheart, I love you, baby. Does this also cause that thing to go further?
100%. And the reason number one for in America that this is been like kind of very prevalent even in Muslim homes is the absence of the father. That masculine part does not exist. When you are raised by a single parent who's likely to be a mother, then the masculine figure, the father figure, is absent. And that will open the door for like the confusion that happens to these kids later on. So I urge every Muslim father to take on his responsibility for taking care of his kids.
Right.
And they have to teach them the right thing, and they have to raise them as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created them, whether boys or girls. And it is maybe the role of the father, but I don't want to put down the role of a mother, that she has to take him to the masjid, to the Islamic school, Sunday school. She has to teach him religion, because nothing will make kids immune to this except the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the right faith in the heart.
نعم جزاك الله خير يا دكتور بارك الله فيك. I wanted to talk further with you, but I have to go and do that nikah. You know, I'm already late 6 minutes. So inshallah, even people are calling, but I'm sorry guys, I can't take any more phone calls because I would be breaking my promise here. جزاك الله خير يا دكتور. Inshallah, we'll keep in touch inshallah. Brothers and sisters in Islam, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. You know, one of the things that you can do is support Islamic schools, is support Islamic schools by enrolling your children in the school, by helping the school. Wallahi, I want to make special dua for brothers who are not even from Colorado. A sister by the Firdaus Khatib, she heard my khutbah this Friday that we have 20 students who enrolled in the Minhal Academy who need financial assistance. They need sponsors to sponsor students. Wallahi, the sister sponsored one child for a whole year, $4,000, $400 is the tuition. You know, people like these really care. I'm not pretending here that I do have that deficit. I do have that deficit because any child who comes to my school, I can't tell them no. If a Muslim child wants his child to be cultivated and brought up in Islamic education, I will help them. I told them, just pay $100, pay $200, whatever you can afford. And you know what? I will raise. We given so much financial assistance, we calculated and we broke it down to 20 students. Since last Jum'ah, I had one brother from Michigan, $8,000. This sister Firdaus Khatib, who's doing it on behalf of her mother, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I was told, or someone who is deceased, sponsoring a child for a whole year, protecting a Muslim child from this environment, teaching a Muslim child. So there is so many things that you can do beside being an advocate, beside being sitting out there and watching these shows without being proactive. And I'm not asking you, by the way, to help Al Minhal Academy. Help your school. It amazed me the other day, and I mentioned this on the show with Dr. Bilal Phillips, that we needed help for the cemetery, our local cemetery here in Colorado. Wallahi, Allah is my witness. It did not take me 5 minutes to raise something $15,000 or $20,000, right? Subhanallah, to talk to, and we're talking about the deceased here, burying people, burying Muslims. No, but once we're talking to Muslims about the resurrection of the next generation, the resurrection, raising up Muslim kids into Islamic environment, protect them from that, I had a very hard time. And most of the help, by the way, came from outside, not locally here, not locally from Colorado, came from outside. I'm not like downplaying my community, but maybe I need to do more education regarding this subject, inshallah. Jazakumullahu khaira. Salamu alaikum. Somebody is trying to call. This is my last caller. Salamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I just want to let you know that it's not very clear here in the brother.
The voice?
Yeah.
The brother who was talking to me earlier, right?
Yeah.
Okay, inshallah. Jazakallah khair. We're done anyway, so alhamdulillah. Hopefully in the recording you can listen to it. Jazakallah khairan. Brothers and sisters in Islam, I love you all for the sake of Allah. Please keep up learning, keep up working for Allah, keep up serving the deen, keep up saying no nicely, kindly. Listen, We live in America. The laws of the land protects the individual's sexual preferences. No question about it. And we're going to abide by the laws. We're not going to do anything. But I am entitled to my faith. I'm entitled to my religion. And I'm not going to compromise my religion to show that I'm tolerant. No, I'm tolerant while I keep up with my faith. I keep up with my religion. And that should be your attitude. And this is what you should teach your children, brothers and sisters in Islam. I love you all for the sake of Allah. جزاكم الله خيرا. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
فت فؤادك الأيام فتى وتنحت جسمك الساعات نحتا وتدعوك المنون دعاء صدق ألا يا صاح أنت أريد أنت أراك تحب عرسا ذات خدر أبت طلاقها الأكياس بتا تنام الدهر ويحك في غطيط بها حتى إذا مت انتبهتا فكم ذا أنت مخدوع وحتى متى لا ترعوي عنها وحتى أبا بكر دعوتك لو أجبتا إلى ما فيه حظك لو عقلتا إلى علم تكون به إماما مطاعا إن نهيت وإن أمرتا ويجلو ما بعينك من غشاها ويهديك السبيل إذا ضللتا وتحمل منه في ناديك تاجا ويكسوك الجمال إذا عريتا ينالك نفعه ما دمت حيا ويبقى ذكره لك إن ذهبتا هو العضب المهند ليس ينبو تصيب به مقاتل من أردتا